Hi Cheryl, Dion Johnson here, and I'm absolutely pumped to be connected with I Am Woman. I'm so delighted that I stumbled across you guys yesterday, and already I know I've been there 5 minutes, but I can tell already that it's a really vibrant community, and I'm really looking forward to getting to know you and to contribute and learn and grow and share and all that good stuff. Well, you've been asking me some really in-depth questions about my milestones and about what's led me to this point in my life, and I really got excited about answering you, but I couldn't answer you in that Facebook speak, so I thought the best way to let you know about one in particular milestone that I really want to tell you about is to make this really quick short video, and hopefully you'll hear my heart, you'll hear what I'm trying to say in a lot better, more effective way than if I try and write it down. Now, where should I start? I was born with a facial disfigurement, and very, very soon after, when I started school around the age of 4, I started to wear an artificial eye and dark glasses, really dark glasses. And I think the aim then was to cover up my eye, my disfigured eye, and to hide it from the world. And I don't know how much I was involved in the decision to do that, but I really accepted it, and I grew up. For 40 years I wore this artificial eye and I wore these glasses, and it was a real big part of my life. In fact, the thought of anybody seeing my eye, or see me naked, as I would call it, or uncovered, was a ludicrous thought. It just wouldn't happen. I would have intricate plans and strategies to make sure that I was never caught on the hop. Even if someone was staying in our house, or if a gas man came unexpectedly, or if there was something happened, somebody walked into my room, there was always a strategy that I had built in to make sure that I could just slip the artificial eye and put my glasses on before anybody would see me naked. So only a very few people knew what I looked like underneath. And that was fine. I was going along tickety-boo, and long story short, a couple of years ago my aunt died. It was a really surreal experience, me accompanying my aunt as she passed away. And on the day of her funeral, around the time of her funeral, a few things started happening concerning my eye. So a lady named Jackie, an old friend of mine, was at one of the evening wakes. We have wakes in our culture, and she said to me, we were talking, and her son blurted out in front of everyone, "Gosh, Mum, your friend is so ugly." And it really, when I realised he was talking about me, it was really sore, really painful. I wondered why this little boy had said that. And of course, I knew why he had said that, because I believed actually that I was ugly, and that it took me back to the playground. It took me back to my early years of dealing with this facial disfigurement. It was just a real blow when he said it, a real wake-up call. Anyway, on the day of the funeral, I lost my glasses, and it was already starting to feel sore because of what that little boy had said. But I now knew that I couldn't go to my aunt's funeral because I didn't have my glasses, and I was getting myself into a right tears. I couldn't work out why it was such a big deal, but I wasn't going to this funeral. In the end, I ended up going with my sister's sunglasses on, but I still felt hugely uncomfortable and disengaged. I noticed what was going on inside of myself, and I wanted to curl up in a little ball. I didn't want anyone to look at me. I was feeling really uncomfortable, and I pondered this, and I realised that something was actually going on here. Towards the end of the day of the funeral, I went into the kitchen to thank all the people that had helped us, and Jackie was there, and she said, "Dion, I really want to apologise for what my son said the other day. I really wanted the ground to open up and swallow me." And then Auntie Alice, who was over washing the dishes, she overheard the conversation, and she thought she'd come and join in. She said, "What had happened?" And so Jackie told her about what her son had said. Auntie Alice, big fat Jamaican mama, said, "Oh, don't worry about Dion," she said. "Dion is used to looking that way. She don't mind." And I stood there while these two people were having a conversation about me. And Jackie said, "But you don't understand, Auntie Alice. Dion, my son, he watches Star Trek, he watches Doctor Who, and he's fine with all those monsters. So I don't see why he had to say that about Dion." And I stood there thinking, hold on a second, this girl is comparing me to the monsters on Doctor Who and the aliens on Star Wars. And I'm checking out of this conversation. But as I walked away, I was pondering it in my mind and my heart, and I could feel an ache that was building and I didn't know what to do. And then the icing on the cake came when I went home feeling really despondent from the funeral, and I lay down in my sister's bed and I fell asleep. I put my artificial eye on the side, the cabinet on the side by the bed, and I fell asleep until morning. And when I woke up, my sister said that my niece, who had never seen my eye like this, never seen me uncovered, who's 5 years old, had found the artificial eye on the bedside cabinet, and she doesn't know what to do about it. She's beside herself. She can't get her head around the fact that Auntie's eye is on the dresser. So when I went to her, she was very quiet, very subdued, very tearful, and she was afraid of me. And she didn't want me to touch her. She didn't want me to kiss her good morning. We didn't hug like we usually do. And my heart broke. I remember it now. The tears were coming. I couldn't stop them. I was inconsolable. There was this ache that had been brewing since that little boy called me ugly. And I knew that there was something going on here. Isn't it funny how when it's time for you to deal with something, life just sends all these little prompts, or sometimes they feel like little digs or attacks, or it just felt like something was pointing to, got to deal with this situation, got to deal with this situation, and it was getting more and more painful. So I did what I usually do when something starts to happen like that. I took myself away into the bedroom, locked myself away for a little while, and I just started to cry out to God and pray and ask, what on earth is going on here? And I entered into a conversation, a spiritual conversation with myself about what this covering up was all about. And I realised that I'd been wearing this artificial eye because I didn't feel comfortable to be subjecting people to the discomfort of looking at me like this. I realised that I was wearing this artificial eye to protect you, so that you wouldn't have to have an uncomfortable day with this mug in your face, that you wouldn't have to feel put out, or you wouldn't have to be uncomfortable or be forced to have to look at this face. So I wore this lens to protect people from the pain and the discomfort of having to look at me. And I realised this. I was gobsmacked because I hadn't really thought about it like that before. But the more I was searching, the more I realised that it was true. I was wearing this artificial eye to protect you. And it began to really make sense and really hurt. Because you see, I'd never been comfortable with this artificial eye. I'd never been comfortable whenever I put it in, even after 40 years. And if I'd catch a glimpse of myself, it'd make me shudder because it would feel like this big appendage on the side of my face. It would feel like something that was not supposed to be there. It would feel like it was an add-on and that didn't fit. So I hated wearing it, so I wore the dark glasses, and those were for me, so that I didn't have to see the artificial eye. So I realised that there were these two massive walls in my life. This artificial eye that I was using to protect you, and these dark glasses that I was using to protect me. Well, that just didn't fit in with all the journey that I've been on, the growing that I've been doing, the beliefs that I've been developing about who I really am. I am woman. I am beautiful. I tell my clients that. I tell my clients that, we are all worthwhile. We're all beautiful just as we are. So what was this about? All these walls in my life. And I was vexed. I was uncomfortable with this. And I was also really sore that 40 years of my life had gone by, and I could see how these unconscious thoughts were manifested in my life. And I knew that it was time to break those walls down. So the good news is that was 10th of October 2010, and here we are 2 years later, and I am walking around looking like this, and I make no apology for it. This is my face, and I turn up like this wherever I go. And it's all part of the turning up as you are, being authentic, being significant just as you are. The message that I believe in my life is now manifesting, and I think this has been an excellent metaphor for what's been happening to me over the last 10 years. That I really believe that just as we are right now, that's how we turn up today. And of course we do things to grow, and we do things to develop and to get better. But how we are right now is okay, and that we can show up as we are right now, today, just as we are. So that's really a milestone that I'll never forget, and I'll keep telling people about, because really me making this video naked is a miracle, and it's a miracle and a metaphor for what's been happening in my life and what I'm going to help other people to have happen in theirs, that they're going to show up and birth what they really are carrying in this world, just as themselves, authentically unique as themselves. So I hope that this has explained this milestone. I hope that you know a bit more about me and I've answered your questions, Cheryl. And there's many more of these stories to come, and I'm looking forward to getting to share them with you again. Take care now. Bye.